Hi there, I'm Judi Curtin and I'm an author. These are some of the books I have written. There was a whole series about Alice and her friend Megan. I've written a series about Eva and a series about Molly and Beth. But 2 years ago I took a big step for me and I wrote my first book of historical fiction. And I said that in 1913, and it was telling the story of Lily, a young girl who has to leave home and leave her school and go and work as a housemaid at Lissadell house. And I had a lot of fun writing that book, and I'm very pleased how it came out. It was Lily at Lissadell. And when I came to the end of this, I knew I wasn't finished telling Lily's story. So last year I wrote Lily Steps Up, the sequel. But I discovered that either I can't let go of Lily or she won't let go of me. But whatever the reason, this year I wrote Lily's Dream. Now I'm going to read you 1 or 2 pages from the beginning of this. And this book begins in summer 1940. "Hurry up, Lily," said Maeve, as she pulled off her pretty silk shoes, hitched up her dress and ran towards the sea. "Wait for me," I said. "There's a knot in my laces." Finally, I managed to struggle out of my heavy leather boots and I laid them on the sand. Next to Maeve's shoes, they looked old and ugly, and for a second I felt ashamed. Then I lifted my head high and told myself I was being foolish. I had a good, honest job at Lissadell, and just because I was a servant and Maeve was a member of the family who owned the house, that did not make her better than me. I took a second to enjoy the feeling of the warm sand under my feet. Then I pulled off my housemaid's cap and ran to the water, to my friend, to the best moments of my day. It was gorgeous and sunny. A gentle breeze tossed my hair and a flock of seagulls screeched and squawked over our heads while Maeve and I chatted. "Oh, how I love the sea," I sighed as the water rippled over my skin. "When I'm a teacher, I'm going to work by the seaside, and every single day I'll go for a paddle, even if I'm very old, like 25 or something." "When I grow up, I'm going to live in Dublin," said Maeve, "so I can be near Mother. The 2 of us will take trips to the seaside and we shall be so happy together." Maeve's mum lived in Dublin and her daddy was somewhere in Europe, and she missed them very much. She had many good things in her life, but I knew she was often lonely. We paddled until our toes went white from the cold. Then we sat on a rock and we each used one of my stockings to dry our feet. Then we walked along the path away from the sea. As always, I stopped for a moment and looked at Lissadell house, so dark and huge. I remembered the first time I'd seen it, almost a year earlier. Back then I was so young and scared, but now I marched towards it, a little older and not scared anymore. So that continues the story of Lily and her friend Maeve DeMarkovich and lots of other characters at Lissadell house. We can see that Lily has not given up her dream of becoming a teacher, and also it is 1914 and World War I is looming, and the question is, how is this going to affect the young people we have begun to know at Lissadell house? So I'm not going to tell you any more. I don't want to spoil anything, so I would just like to say thank you very much for listening.